Good morning everyone, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Saturday morning and it's warm again. It's been very hot overnight, feel hot and sticky, and it's just gone 8 in the morning and I still feel like I'm sweating buckets. Another hot day by the look of it. So I've got up, I've watered my plants, I've made myself a lovely cup of herbal tea, and I'm just trying to start the day relaxing and being stress-free. So guys, me considers my health before everything else now. When you get older, it's important that you look after your health, your physical health and your mental health. Especially like me, I'm over 50, so I need to exercise, and make sure I'm mobile, because hopefully when you get to older age, you don't seize up like my mother, because she spends most of her time indoors, not moving about, and she's like seized up. So I'm thinking of my future, so I am trying to keep fit, keep active, because I don't want to end up with something like chronic arthritis, where I can't move, because I'm on my own, like my mother, she's on her own. Also, you've got to look after your mental health, so I keep my mind active. I'm learning languages. At the moment I'm learning Welsh, which is a hard language to learn, but I am really trying to keep at it. And I like puzzle games like Scrabble, so I keep my mind active. I look for new words, like I'll ask Alexa, what is the word of the day?
Good morning, Crystal. The skill Puzzler can help you with that. Did you want to enable it?
Yes.
Okay, here's Puzzler.
Good morning. Welcome to Puzzler. Every day you will get a new daily crossword. You need to complete it as fast as possible to get into the high scores. Say skip to skip the clue you're on. Say hint to get help with the clue. Happy puzzling! On to your crossword of the day.
Least powerful chess man. There are 4 letters.
Alexa, pawn, P-A-W-N.
Nice stuff.
Lay a footpath. First letter, P. It has 4 letters.
Alexa, P-A-V-E, pave.
Awesome.
Style, fashion. First letter, V. There are 5 letters.
Alexa, Vogue.
You're 50% complete. On to the next one.
Bet, steak. W, blank, G, blank, blank. It has 5 letters.
Alexa, wedge.
Nope.
Which is not the answer.
Max,
Let's hear the clue again.
Stop
Bet,
it.
steak. W, blank, G,
Alexa,
blank, blank.
wager.
Let's hear the next clue.
Blank and proper, stiffly formal. Blank, R, blank, blank. There's 4 letters.
Alexa, skip. Max,
Okay, we'll skip this clue.
Group of sports players. Blank, E, blank, blank. 4-letter word.
Alexa, team.
Okay, here's your next clue.
Blank and proper, stiffly formal. Blank, R, blank, M.
Alexa,
4 letters.
Alexa, prim. Alexa, P-R-I-M, prim.
Well done, that was lightning fast.
You did it in 2 minutes, 13 seconds. You just set your fastest time on daily crosswords.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
High scores.
Would you like to hear the daily or premium high scores?
daily.
You're currently 5,092nd on the daily high scores, with a time of 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 179 milliseconds. You are 0 seconds behind your nearest rival, Rapidly Fantastic Sea Dragon.
Main menu. Would you like to hear the high scores, open shop, or exit game?
Exit game.
Thanks for playing Puzzler.
Check out the highest rated voice games. Just say Open Yak Yak Games.
Anyway, guys, I asked Alexa to give me the word of the day, and she's passed me on to Puzzler, so we did a crossword, which I'm fairly good at. I am. So we did that in 2 minutes 13 seconds, which is brilliant. So there you go. So yeah, oh my god, we have a crazy insect running across the floor, and I think that's a centipede, and I don't know where it's come from. It's a fucking insect with long legs, loads of legs. It's a baby centipede. I don't know where it's gone from. Anyway, so I got up this morning, did all what I needed to do. And normally the guy rings about 5 o'clock on my buzzer. 5 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, no, I'm not, I'm an older person, I'm going through a lot, and no. And I thought, right, if I don't get my newspaper, I don't get my newspaper, If I'm desperate for a newspaper, I can go to the shop. So I thought, no, not at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I switched my buzzer on to privacy. Right, private. Now the communal doors was open when I went downstairs this morning. It was open again. So the door was open. It's not shutting properly. That's what it is. It's not shutting properly. So you come through the door, and normally you just let it go and it shuts itself. So when you come in, it's not shutting itself properly. It's getting like stuck. So there is something wrong with the door. So when I went downstairs, the communal door was open again when I'd shut it. So if the guy had come to deliver my newspaper, he would have been able to just push the door and get in. So I've gone downstairs. There is no newspaper. There's no newspaper. But then that's my fault, because I didn't want to be woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you are kept awake until 2, you don't want to be woken up at 5 in the morning, right? So I just wanted a break, and if I don't get my newspaper, that's fine by me. In fact, I'm thinking of cancelling these newspapers. I tried to do it before, but it didn't work, so I'll have to ring them up and cancel them on the phone. So I saw this in my mailbox, because sometimes the guys that deliver the newspaper stick it right into the mailbox and you can't see it. So this is a pizza leaflet that was in my mailbox. Morello Pizza, 175 High Street, Rochester. Super delicious pizza. And you've got kebabs, wraps, and all that kind of thing. And that's the last thing I want in this heat, is a great big pizza. And I cooked myself a chicken curry yesterday, and I'm going to cook something else today. It's either chili con carne or chicken and rice, and I'm absolutely fine. Absolutely. It's going to get difficult the last week of the month. So I'm okay at the moment, and then I'll be okay next week. But the last week of the month is always the one where I struggle the most. But we'll get through it. We will get through it. I'm not a baby, I'm not a child, and I don't want to be shouted at. Now, I've been keeping an even temperament. I've been, like, when I feel like I'm gonna like explode, I've kept myself under control. If I go up to see my mother, not only will my mental health suffer, so will my physical health, because she covers herself in strong scent, and it's done to make you sick. Numerous trips to the doctor, numerous trips to the hospital. I don't know whether it's Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and my mum wants attention by using me and making out she's me and I'm her, and I get all poked and prodded and have all these investigations when it's been caused deliberately. Trying to cause someone harm deliberately. Making a meal deliberately. Which is against the law. And this has been happening to me since I was a child as well. I've got no perfume on. No. The scent of the detergent on my clothes when I wash them is enough for me, and so is when I have a shower. I don't need to cover myself in poisonous toxic perfume. It doesn't help your breathing, right? Also, when I went to bed last night, the castle was having a concert of some kind, and it was going on way past midnight. You could hear the music bounding down the street way past midnight. And people have got children that need to go to sleep. And if I could hear it, so could children hear that. So it was pounding down the street to about, well, I just closed my ears to it. This place is so bloody noisy. It's unbelievable. I'm sure, yeah, well, as I said when I was walking on the field, if it was blasting my ears when I was walking on the field, what damage is it doing to people's ears when they stood right next to it? I don't like things like that, when it's too loud. It's not enjoyable either when it's too loud. It hurts your ears. So I came back from the field and I didn't notice it. It started to get louder about 10 o'clock at night when people are trying to get their kids ready for bed and shit, if they're not in bed already. It started to get louder and louder. I thought it was a car with a stereo on outside. It was so near. And I realised it was either that there was a concert going on somewhere. So I shut the window. And then when I went to bed, what was it, getting on for 12 o'clock midnight or just after, I thought they must have stopped that music now, and it was still going on. But I opened the window and this horrible smell was outside, and I can't explain it. Are they putting shit into the air? The air outside stank, but it was like a poisonous smell. It wasn't stinky, it wasn't food, it didn't smell like food, and it didn't smell like barbecues. It was a toxic, horrible, poisonous smell. And when I opened the window, it came into my flat, and it was awful. So I shut the window. But the smell stayed in the flat. I don't know what that smell was. It makes you wonder if they're releasing something into the air. It stank. Anyway, when I got up this morning and went to see if the guy had delivered the newspaper, excuse me. Next door had been cooking what smelt like barbecue soup. Stank of soup next door. Soup. Beefy stock barbecue smell. Oh, made me gag. These smells. Like cooking their lunch in the morning. Oh, it was a horrible smell. And when I went on, I keep getting messages from bald coloured blokes. They're bald. Went onto my balcony to water my plants. And next door to my next door neighbours, he's a tall guy with a bald head, my next door neighbour. So next to my neighbour, or a couple of balconies down, there was a bald-headed black man stood there while I was watering my plants. So I watered my plants, came back in, I've made myself a cup of herbal tea, getting ready for the day. And I haven't taken Max out for a walk yet because I don't want to go out too early because it makes the day longer. So I don't really go anywhere. So if I go out really first thing in the morning, the day goes so bloody slow. And you just sat there staring into space. Because I can't really go out anywhere because I just suffer all this harassment. So, we've got a pizza leaflet, no newspaper, and I've got food in the cupboard in the fridge. I went to the Co-op yesterday. Last weekend there was a whole pizza on the floor, so one wonders what's on the floor when I go out later on. It's usually food. I'm not skinny. Anyway, let's get on to Alexa. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to the National Health Service, founded on this day in 1948. Today it's the largest employer in Europe, with over 1.3 million staff.
Alexa, what's the time?
It's 8:20 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Saturday the 5th of July.
This would have been my sister Amanda's 50th birthday, the big 50. Alexa, what's the weather outlook in Rochester?
Right now in Rochester, England, it's 16 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has showers, with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 15 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What were the balloon's last words to his dad? Watch me, pop.
And Alexa, which celebrity was born on this day? Alexa, which celebrities were born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 5th of July include Shohei Ohtani, Sombo, Susan Wojcicki, Cecil Rhodes, and Edie Falco.
So, yeah, it would have been my sister's 50th birthday. She died of multiple sclerosis in 2011 at the age of 36. So, you want to remember, and you never forget. Never. So she died in March 2011, and she was born on the 5th of July 1975. I never forget my sister. I've always remembered my sister. What has happened to me and where I wasn't allowed to see my sister, I'm angry about, but I can't change events, so I'm just carrying on with my own life. But these idiots keep recreating what happened years ago and they need to change the record and move on with their life like I have, and stop hounding me and trying to trigger me off by bringing things up that are upsetting. But they're doing it to trigger you off. Be you, be you. Yes, I did lose my temper, but then it was bad for my health. It was making me ill. It was making me seriously ill. You don't use people's insecurities to make them act like puppets. This is how these guys, you know, these guys that suddenly lose their temper and go out mass shooting or doing something, they've been triggered off or brainwashed. So if you keep someone stuck in a place with no company, and they think I've got no money and food, but in fact I have, and you just, you know, they can make you go absolutely crazy. That's what they're doing to me, or trying to do to me. They want you locked up or worse. And possessions, they're nothing. As I've said many times before, we own possessions for a while and then they go to somebody else. And people remember us when we're gone for a little while, and then when we're gone, nobody remembers them. And it happens to us all. Sometimes people's greed takes over, and that, you know, they just want what you've left behind. They're not interested in you, the person. They're just, you know, rifling through your bits and pieces and fighting over it. I've seen it firsthand. When my father-in-law died, they all professed to love my father-in-law, all of them. And I was the one cleaning up and looking after him when he got ill and was on his own, and kept him company and took the kids round to see him. But the rest of the family just left him because he was old, and you know what I mean. And when he passed on, they came round to my father-in-law's house like animals, fighting over the stuff that was left behind. And he was an old man living in council accommodation, and he didn't have very much. And you know, it's disgusting. There's another reason I keep myself to myself. They're just interested in what you've got, and if you haven't got anything, they don't want to know you. And then when you've passed on, they're just rifling through your bits to see what they can all have. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's gone on since time began, you know, like ravaging savages. So I'm really not interested in people at all. Just greed. They don't want to know me as a person. None of them come up to me, speak to me as a human being. I'm just treated like a piece of crap that they can pass around like a football and laugh at. None of them speak to me. I don't even know any of these people that are behaving in the manner that they're behaving. I don't know any one of them. And I don't really speak to the neighbours. I don't speak to them at all. So, you know, I don't know why it's going on. They don't know a thing about me. Not one of them do. But they laugh and they make fun, but they don't know anything about me. You can't tell someone from YouTube videos. You can't. I mean, I watch a load of videos on YouTube myself, but you don't know the person inside and out, what they're going through, what they're living like, because you're not there to see it. Not one of the neighbours has come into my flat. Not one of them has knows me at all. So they're just making judgments on somebody they know nothing about. Because that's what people do. They judge you you know, by the clothes you wear, what you look like, and that's not the person inside, is it? And instead, it's the hatefulness that gets to me. It's the spitefulness and the hatefulness. It's like thinking that I have no money, thinking that I've got no food, and then stuffing their faces in front of me, and then, you know, getting stuff out of their cars and showing off. It's really quite shocking. And then the woman yesterday that was in the car with the dog was a large woman. She was about size 20, and they're taking the piss out of what I look like, and that's what they're doing. That's why they get the dogs to bark at me. But you should see the women especially, behind it. They hide. They let their dogs out, but they're hiding behind the door because they don't want to show their faces. At least I've got the guts to show my face. They haven't. They hide. They hide. They don't want to be seen. They want to make these rude noises, do these horrible things, and then they hide. You should see some of them. Some of them are in wheelchairs. Some of them are old. They're spiteful. There was a man on the riverside with a mobility scooter, and that's being done. What, a random man coming up the field near me on a mobility scooter, who's telling me that's not staged, because my sister, when she died, she was using a mobility scooter when she died. And they're just getting at me. And they're not getting at my dad Derek, because my father died 3 years ago. Nearly 4. 4 this year, Derek did. He died. So they're calling me a monster, and in fact it was my father that was the monster, but not one of them had the guts to call him a monster to his face, because they're all cowards. The police never arrested him for anything that he did to me, or my mum. The beatings, they never arrested him once. They were scared of him. But it's okay, because I'm a female and I'm tiny, to take it all out on me and pick on me, and some of them have hit me and attacked me. But they wouldn't have had the guts to do that to my 6'2" dad. So to me, they're just vermin. They're absolute pieces of shit that I wouldn't even give the time of day, including the police. They're not worthy of 1 second of my time, not any of them. I won't pass the day with any of them. They're all fake. It's street theatrics. They're working for somebody, and I'm not going to let them get any money. So if they get money from me acting like a fuck it, my mother, which I think they're trying to do, then they're not going to get a penny. Because in that respect, I'm completely normal. And they've covered up child abuse and other things, and it's disgusting. And they're all going to get karma. And they can laugh at me, take the piss, make dog noises, because they're dogs themselves. Because dogs know no better. Dogs fuck each other. I'm sorry to be quite blunt, but they're not the type of people that listen to reason or understand kindness. So dogs fuck each other, and that's what they do. Dogs shit on pavements, and that's what they do. And dogs smell and don't look after themselves. They need someone to wash them. And that's the type of people that they are outside doing this to me. That Charlie, for one, hadn't even washed his hair in, 9 months? And they have the cheek to call me names, which is disgusting. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Despite the fact we work some of the longest working hours, so there's a kind of disconnect there. Something's not working. It's not a good situation for workers or the economy. And so we do think this is a long time coming, this 4-day working week, and we're really hopeful now that we can build upon these hundreds of companies that have done it. The first council's done it. Surely now we can kind of spread this much more widely, and we're calling for the government now to kind of intervene, coordinate on policy around a shorter working week with kind of business leaders, trade union leaders, to make this a reality for more people.
Gerard, pleasure talking to you. And if I haven't told you before, many years ago in the late 80s, early 90s, very early 90s, I worked a 4-day week, and it was fantastic. It really was fantastic. Home life became much more balanced, it was much easier to get stuff done, less stress. You're listening to Matthew Wright. More of your calls on migration and whether a fear of migrants is helping bring Britain and France together. First, though, the latest LBC News headlines from Maya Thomas.
At least 24 people have been killed in flash flooding in Texas after a month's worth of rain fell in just a few hours. It's thought more than 23 people at a children's summer camp are still missing. That was on the banks of the Guadalupe River, which has burst its banks. The Chancellor's refusing to rule out tax rises in the autumn budget. Rachel Reeves has told one of the newspapers today that there will be costs to watering down the welfare bill. And Liverpool players are in Portugal for the funeral of footballer Diogo Jota. The service will be held for the 28-year-old and his brother Andre Silva, who were both killed in a car crash in Spain on Thursday. LBC weather cloudy with outbreaks of rain and drizzle for many, but drier and brighter in the east today with highs of 25 degrees.
LBC.
I'd been in the family home for 30 years, but it was different. Too many rooms, too few voices. Moving to McCarthy Stone felt like a big step, but this place is full of life. I chat to someone every day. In the lounge, in the garden, even in the lift. I have my own apartment, but I'm never truly alone. I only wish I'd done it sooner.
Discover stunning retirement apartments exclusively for the over 55s. Search McCarthy Stone or call 0800 153 3055. Age restrictions and qualifying criteria apply.
Are you ready to win big? Enter now at winplus.co.uk to win huge cash prizes and loads more. 18 plus, GB only, T's and C's apply.
When you're smiling. Banning Dental Group Clinics. With over 5,000 top-rated Google reviews. Keep on smiling.
When we're little, we don't overthink things. We're brave, confident, we laugh and ask questions. And play. So why stop there? Just because we're adults, it shouldn't mean we stop trying new things. For me, starting a career in early years has meant not just a new job, but new skills, new friends.
Like me?
Yes, and a new sense of purpose. All that, and I can earn while I learn.
Yay, painting next.
Do something big. Work with small children. Search early years careers to find out more.
Car owners, you could be owed thousands in compensation. If you bought a car on finance from 2007 onwards, it may have been sold with hidden commissions. Text claim to 86688. My Claim Group. Authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. You don't need to use a CMC. You can claim direct to your lender and the Financial Ombudsman for free. Text claim to 86688.
Claims made simple.
To book your place at our open house events, search McCarthy Stone or call 0800 153 3055 and discover retirement living your way.
This is LBC with Matthew Wright. Call 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Really interesting that brief 4-day week conversation has prompted older listeners, for example, this we've got here, Martin, who just described that chap as lazy. I'm 76. We provide service 24/7. We live in a world of entitlement. No one wants to work. But others have picked up on my concern about if we're going to work less, and it does seem that with AI we're going to work less and less. Where's the money going to come from for us to live on? Andrew says technology is dramatically widening the gap between industrial productivity and wage growth. AI will accelerate the trend. The impact on wealth distribution is regressive. This has to be a top priority for our economic planning. And I have to say, it seems it's the elephant in the room, enormous elephant in the room, is how are we going to fund our existence if we don't work? And I haven't got a Scooby, to be honest. I'd be interested if you've got any thoughts. Well, at the moment, we're talking about whether a fear of migrants is bringing Britain and France together in a way that EU membership never did. Matthew's on the line in Heathrow. Good morning to you, Matthew.
Oh, hi, Matthew. Yeah, well, I believe that this one-for-one deal would work, and it will actually stop the votes overnight. I mean, I've been to Calais, and for one of the charities there, Care for Calais, and I've met the migrants, and I think as long as we show some humanity, and we agree with the French that if people arrive by boat, they will be returned and the French will accept them, and then they won't be able to reapply again. That should stop it. But what I suggest...
I think it was... I agree, by the way. I just think it would be unbelievably expensive.
But only then the people what will then apply are the people that have some sort of family connections, and there's a reason for them to come, and it won't stop the vote. I mean, we've got to do our fair share. I mean, I spoke to Ian Dale on LBC over a year ago, and I've even spoken to Sir Keir Starmer a couple of times on LBC, and I mean, Sir Keir Starmer shows some humanity.
Do you ever write to them about actual, issues like the economy, employment, how we're all going to work with when we're not working because of AI, or is it just migration you write about?
Well, no, I mean,
because some of us, right? Because some.
Sorry, guys, that is the man delivering my newspaper. That's the newspaper guy with the long grey hair. He's got a long grey car as well. So let me just quickly get the newspaper. Yes, the guy was able to walk into the building without me pressing the buzzer. Daily Mail today. Just catch my breath. So that guy was able to walk into this building without me letting him in. He was in the building already. How I became a celebrity shark bait. Always got to bring a shark into it because of my teeth. Shark. And then we've got Fiona Phillips with her teeth on the front of the newspaper laughing. They try and trigger you off. Try and trigger you off first thing in the morning. And I'm just tired of it. We don't have any teeth when we come into this world, and we're lucky if any of us have any teeth when we leave, so they can sit on my middle finger. See you later.